Hey guys, Funky Music here, and today I just wanted to debunk real quick. There seems to be this theme, and maybe I'm guilty for not doing a video on this sooner, but I know I've talked about it quite a bit, and it seems to be a comment that I get from time to time, even in my retirement. So I kind of just wanted to put this out here now. There's no difference between Icecrown and Lordaeron on zero buff. Let's be very clear here. We're only talking zero buff. They are exactly the same. I don't play 30 buff. I don't theorycraft 30 buff. There's no point to 30 buff when the game is so easy to do zero buff. But these players on Icecrown, Lordaeron, have this idea that it's harder. Things are harder on Lordaeron. They are exactly the same as Icecrown. There's only one difference. The damage is exactly the same. We ran this test years ago. If you guys want to pause this video, check out these numbers. I believe this was the Lordaeron numbers. And then we can scroll over here and do the Icecrown numbers. They're the same. You're going to see Soul Reaper hitting the exact same between the tanks. We tested this. It's probably been about, 5-6 years ago this was tested. You can go to Teamy and ask Teamy as well. Here's the difference as far as HP goes. This is the only difference. Now, this is not going to change strategy. It's not going to change rotations. It's not going to change anything that you would use that would be best in slot. I've seen guides. There was a feral guide. I think it's still on Warming to this day, posted by somebody on Lordaeron saying that they were picking up a certain talent for more survivability or something along those lines. It's not necessary. It's just not necessary. We got to get more armor, more HP. No, you're just prolonging the fight. You go for min-max on everything, every single time, for this very reason. All the wing bosses, as you'll see, these are the Icecrown numbers. Let's go ahead and go over to the Lordaeron numbers. You guys, again, pause the video, go back. You can compare these two. I don't know why I put Lady Death Whisperer down here when Lady's up here. This should be Valithria Dreamwalker, so it should be VDW. My bad, not LDW. And Professor should have 2 Fs, yes. Ignore the spelling errors. But as you could tell, even the wing bosses, the ones that we consider hard, so like Professor, maybe Syndragosa, or more of a challenge, I should say, there's only 2 million HP difference. If you have a good guild and they're min-maxing and they know what they're doing, you're going to burn that down in seconds. It's not going to matter at all. It's not going to make the fight any harder. The bosses all hit the same. A lot of them have the same HP, or a lot of them are just laughable, like Valithria Dreamwalker, Gunship, for example. I didn't even bother putting the HP differences because who cares? Other than that, like Deathbringer's the same, Blood Queen's the same, Lich King's the same. They all three of those have, the same HP, and all three of those bosses are, Deathbringer's Blood Queen are a joke, and Lich King being the only real challenge, honestly, out of Icecrown. The raid. But yeah, I just wanted to kind of debunk that. I feel like people don't know the history there. So Lordaeron used to be harder. Bosses used to hit harder. It was scripted this way, and then it got to the point where Memories, the guild that was the Realm First guild there on Lordaeron, they couldn't even kill Lich King because it was so hard. After they did it the one time, something got buffed or something like that, and they really struggled to kill it after that. That's when the two realms, Ragnaros and Deathwing, merged into Icecrown. This is around 2017-18. I do believe it was 17. And when they did that, they also updated Lordaeron to have the same scripting. The only thing they changed was the HP values. So yeah. And the bosses that they've changed, like Marigar, for example, who cares? Festergut, Rot, these are the big ones. Festergut, Rotface, Marigar, those are the ones that you really see a huge jump in HP. Who cares? Who cares? You're not going to change anything. You're not going to be using any more survival tactics. The only thing it might affect is your healers and their mana situation. It's not going to affect anything else, because you're already doing the same rotations that you're doing. The boss is doing the same things that they would have been doing. Funky, the enrage timers. The enrage timers are easily beatable. And only thing that I could say about Lordaeron is that it requires you to actually have a better brain. You can't just plow through content. But again, on zero buff, it's the same. The only thing you're doing is extending the fight, in some cases, a few seconds. I mean, that's about it. So those few seconds don't really matter. And, I've gone over this in another video where we compared DPS and how much time the difference in HP on Syndragosa would, and we were in a bad zero buff guild doing the kill. It wasn't like the best guild I've ever done it with. And I think it came out to 8 or 10 seconds we figured difference on 2 million HP. So we just went off that and kind of just, based it upon that. But I think a good guild doing things properly, because I think we had a couple dead people in that Syndragosa kill. If we had max DPS up and everyone was doing what they should have been, I think you could get it down to every million HP. What was it? Another 4 to 8 seconds, I said. Yeah, so somewhere in between there. It's really ridiculous to sit there, and people still to this day, there's this mentality on Lordaeron. Oh, our bosses hit harder. And we've had this argument for years going on. What now? What's it been? 7? This will be year 7 of this argument. And, we've debunked this a long time ago. And nothing has changed. There's been no updates to boss damage. So yeah, I don't know where people come up with this crazy stuff, but I kind of just wanted to put this video out there. I think I've talked about this enough. We've talked about it in live streams. I think I've posted it in my community section. I think there's a forum post about this. This information's readily available, yet there are still players on Lordaeron who have this wild idea that the damage is higher and it's scaled to what it was pre-2017, and it hasn't been. It hasn't been for 7 years, guys. Now, 10-man heroic, we did notice differences in those. So, but who cares about Bane? I mean, everyone will point to the point, well, it's Bane, Funky, it's Bane. There's a difference. Who cares? It's Bane. Light of Dawn is considered the pinnacle of the raiding scene, okay? Not Bane. So, get that out of your heads right now. Well, you could farm gear, fine. If you want to sit there and talk about farming, yeah, whatever, sure. Yeah, I guess. But, yeah, we're comparing Light of Dawns on zero buffs. That's it, because that's where the top of the top. We're talking about the tip of the spear here, okay? And that's always where I'm talking from when I talk about this game at all. But anyways, guys, I just wanted to post this video out here and get it out here. I am doing great. The front room has finally been almost completed. I just have the border to put, or the what's not the border baseboard. I still have the baseboard to put in that room yet, and that room is completely done. You guys have seen it in drywall for probably close to 10 years now, and it is finally done. So I will post that in my community section. I will try to get some YouTube videos going. Right now, having 2 boys, and between that and work, they have, one of them has school, and I got a little guy, so I don't get on as much. I sure as heck don't have time to game like I used to, which is fine. I've actually, enjoyed working on my house and working on other things lately. My passions have kind of changed. Yes, I still have my account on Warming. No, I probably will never play again. And number 3, I'm on Steam. I believe there's a link in my section there to Steam. If you guys want to play with me on Steam, I tend to play games that I don't have to. I can spend 20 minutes in a match and leave, or I can do this for a little bit and then leave, because that's kind of where my life is right now. I can't spend 4 hours or however long, 2 hours even, raiding and focusing on one thing. It's just not viable for me. I still keep in contact with a lot of people. I'm still on Discord. You guys can always hit me up there. And if you've got any questions, comments, concerns, I'll try to get back and make a video or respond to you at least. I know that's a bit hazy these days. But anyways, guys, hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hopefully it helped you. And if you got any questions about it, or you want to talk to anybody who did this, you can always go over to Teamy's channel. If you guys don't know where he's at, you can go to Warmane forums, you can go to the Shaman section, look up the Restoration Shaman guide, and that'll take you right to Teamy's page, and you can go there, get on his Discord, etc., and interact with him, because he was part of this team that did this testing, and he can probably give you a lot more insight as to what he saw as well. So anyways, guys, hopefully you have a good one, and we'll see you later.